when we are in the process of discovering the backstory. When I say backstory, I'm talking about the things and events that took place before something happened that was extremely notable. And that's the story that we talked about yesterday of a woman who was determined that she was going to touch Jesus. And her determination was rewarded with her healing. And then Luke tells us that after that took place, she began to tell her story. And she told it to Jesus, and she told it to that crowd of people who were listening to her, who had seen the miracle. Now, we don't know what that story is. We have bits and pieces. Luke tells us that she had been sick for 12 years, and that she was described as being an issue of blood. And I've did a little research to try to find out exactly what that meant. Not real clear, but it was a problem that was continually causing her health to deteriorate. So my speculation is that by the time this day arrived, I'm talking about the day that she made up her mind that she's going to go to the meeting or the place where Jesus is preaching and ministering to this multitude of people. But it was a tremendous challenge for her because, remember, she's sick. She's very, very sick. Luke even tells us that she is diseased. So for her to make her way to where Jesus was and then get there and encounter a multitude of people, and her in her weakened state has to make her way through that multitude that Scripture says they thronged Jesus. In other words, this was a multitude of people who were completely, tightly packed together. And this is her challenge. Now, I wondered, thinking about this, I said, how long had she heard about Jesus? Because he'd been preaching up in the regions of Galilee for a while. And Scripture says that his fame was all across the land. People were hearing about him. The scribes and the Pharisees down in Jerusalem, they were so upset about it, they determined they wanted to kill him. So the secret was out. Here's a man who does miracles. Here's a man who has the ability to bring healing to the sick. Hope. This woman, she's hearing about hope. The possibility that her life could be forever changed. No more going to these doctors that couldn't bring a cure. No more spending all of her money to try to be healed to no avail. She heard of hope, and she was not going to stop until she had touched Jesus. I believe that's a message that has great meaning for all of us. This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.